Okie doke. Time to go. Hour and a half. Let's get it. Earbuds in, but I can't listen to music, but it's fine. I probably shouldn't listen to music anyway when I'm doing these. So, I already uploaded today's hour and a half of learning. Time to get on Perplexity real quick and get. Actually, you know what? I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna do ChatGPT this time, just to see. For sure. Show me. Bro, this shit is just ridiculous. What is this freaking gassing up dick stroking? What is this? Okay. Okay. Now we're starting function overloading. Yeah, I'll include it. Okay. Test me on all, well, learning C++ via learncpp.com. Please test me, or please quiz me on all things covered in these sections. Oh, first I've seen him thinking like this. Oh, okay. These are actually written in an interesting way. Okay, I'm cool with this. All right, let's get the glasses on. Okie dokie. And then does it include? Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Wait, what the fuck was that? Bro, what is this? I don't know what this means. I don't know what that two is. Guess I'll have to ask. Okay. Really, bro? Alright, whatever. I'm just getting answered similar questions in a different way. So I'll take it. Cool. Does it go any further? Like that. And there. Alright, let's make sure mic's working. Cool. Alright, let's get it. Time to learn. Oh, wait. Whoops. Cool. Do we have answers at the end? Oh, okay. I can show. Alright, cool. Let's do that. Okay. One. Main. Okay. It's a function called main. Statements and expressions. Okay. Expressions are code that evaluates to a result. Statements are necessary. I was going to say expressions that end in a semicolon, but must it be an expression? I mean, but null statements are statements and they don't have a result. So, or hmm, either. code that ends in a semicolon, or because if I have an if statement and it has code, and then at the end of it there's a semicolon, in it, does it have to evaluate to a result? If I'm assigning value to something, it eventually evaluates to the variable that's being assigned, so to the left, um, because assignment operator returns the left operand. If I'm incrementing something, it returns the incremented variable. If I'm putting one semicolon, it just evaluates the constant. I'm going to put statements are code that ends in a semicolon that is often an expression. Uh, and often say an expression with a before the semicolon. I think an exception to this is a null statement. I think that should be correct. This is a single line comment, and then this is going to end it here, so I'm going to have to do another one of these. This is a multi-line comment. For so width is being default initialized here. Yeah. Printing the default initialized width is undefined because the C++ standard doesn't say what value default initialized objects should get. I'll be more definitive, that way I can be corrected. I was going to say objects in parentheses, or at least variables, but I think for everything, every little I'm going to try and do all this without any um, parentheticals, no parentheses. Because when I do that, I think it increases the chance that the AI is just going to respond yes, and I want to maximize the chance that I am incorrect. So I'm going to speak definitively. That way, eventually, I'm speaking definitively and correctly. Like when the teacher says, "Hey, what is the answer to this?" Well, you say the answer. You don't say, "Well, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this," because then what's the teacher say? Well, which is it? You say the answer. That way, you can be corrected and learn. Thus, outputting the value from the unknown value yields a compiler error. Well, at least for me, it's a compiler warning that we are using an uninitialized variable. Um, area two is valid. Um, maybe underscore index is. Three cats isn't, float isn't, user underscore name is. And int index. Yeah, okay, I thought it would be valid, yeah. Cool. That's what I was thinking. Area2, index, and username are valid. Three cats isn't because it begins with a number, and float isn't because it's a keyword, specifically a data type. What in the fuck? Is this just a white space correction? And oh, well, or an ideal or a safer initialization method. Int answer 6 plus 2. Let's say that, or you would just say 8. Okay. I mean, I'd rather just say 8. I don't know why I'm saying 6 plus 2, but maybe those values are important somewhere and they're magic-ish. I mean, in this case, I'm saying this. Updated to 8 from 6 plus 2. To remove magic numbers. Well, it's not even because the result is known. Okay. False. Endline flushes the buffer, which isn't always needed, or which isn't needed to to output data via standard character output. This guy doesn't flush. We still. Oh well, yeah. Thus, a non-buffer flushing inline character is more efficient. I value or R. Fuck. What are the? This feels familiar, but I don't know what's going on. Of the value category? What does that mean? It's an integer. I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean by value category. I value or R value? I mean, it's a literal 42 and it's a temporary object, I guess, that's storing the value probably. Well, I mean, we're not returning it anywhere, but maybe it's stored somewhere in memory as a temporary object. It's not a named constant. I don't know. Come back to 8. So, we need to include IO stream. Why? Because we need standard character output, and then we return 0, and we just do hello. Okay, 10. Which operator? Multiplication. So it's 4 plus 10 minus 3. Operator multiplication. I'm surprised this. Well, I guess we're just gonna. I guess it's just saying PEMDAS. No parentheses, no exponents, therefore it's multiplication. Yep. Why is it usually better to initialize a And I'm going to keep my answers just like this. That way I'm increasing the chance of being wrong. Initializing prevents using uninitialized values. Using garbage values. I guess that's probably why. If I want to assign to it later, meaning default initialize it, just declare or just define it but not initialize it, and then assign it later. Well, and lets us use it whenever we want instead of only using it after initialization, after assignment. What keyword prevents the compiler from treating an identifier as a name you invented? What? I have no clue. What the fuck? What keyword prevents the compiler from treating an identifier as a name you invented? No clue. What does that even, what would be the purpose here? It's just some way of, I mean, we're not just adding something to the standard namespace. What keyword for an identifier? It's not const, it's not const expression, it's not inline, it's not volatile. Fuck, I have no idea, bro. Okay, returns a double, and it's called square, and that's called, and now I could do technically auto square, and then at the end for a trailing, what do we call it? Trailing data type syntax, something like that. Int value to square. Okay, return a double, takes an int, it's called square. The function without an explicit return statement, if the return type is not void, what happens? Compiler yields an error saying it must return a value. Parameters, values within are the local variables within a function that are initialized using the values from the arguments that are inside the function call. Local variables live within their block scope from the point of from definition to end of scope. Destroyed at end of scope. Create a for declaration in a header to oh, the point is we're putting a for declaration in a header. Okay, gotcha. I thought we were saying something's in the header and we're adding a for declaration above in order for the header to use it, but the header isn't compiled. It's just put into a CPP file for compiling. So, excuse me, include header file and as many files as will use the prototyped function. Excuse me. That way the compiler knows that calls to the function are valid. two different files each define a function called log. Um, is it put them in separate namespaces. If the parameters are different, the overloading, I think the overloading is okay. I think the overloading is okay. Could rename them. Hmm. Could give internal linkage to any if applicable. That way the linker won't know that the function exists and there won't be any violation of the one definition rule because the compiler only sees each individual file and it's basically saying, okay, 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 okay. But the linker is the one that checks and says, oh, we have two definitions here together, they conflict. In this case, if you put them both in separate namespaces, they're in their own separate scopes. They're not in the same scope. If they're in the same scope, you could rename them. They could have function overloading, which could be okay because they're distinct functions with distinct interfaces. Um, we could have one get internal linkage, like an unnamed namespace, or just static. That way, they're invisible to the linker. Um, what line must appear at the top of every header code? Um, either pragma once, or preferably, if not defined, um, what do you call it? The guard value. This file h. Oh, write code, compile, link, run. Benefit, compartmentalize, slash modularize, unrelated units, overcomplicate, drawback, overcomplicate, feature that doesn't require compartmentalization, modularize. More files to include and compile. Syntax errors are language misuses. Forgetting semicolon, comma between for loop interface pieces, like for int x3 x is less than or equal to 5 plus x. Semantic errors are meaning errors. Decrementing unsigned variable to get infinite loop accidentally. Off by one error. due to wrong relational operator in for loop. 23. Oh, watch. Is that an expression? Render program. And if we had a breakpoint, I could see what the values are. Um, I mean, is it this, the watch expression? I mean, I'm pretty sure watching a local if you're already watching local variables, you should see the values at the moment of the crash, just like you saw them before it. Not sure about the expression part of this, but in VS22, well, I could just do. Okay, three-step strategy. Fuck, I'm not sure. It's probably like find out where it is, like find the find the location. So it's like find it, isolate the bugged unit, examine, iterate to fix. Something like that. Issues before you compile or run the code. Maybe we have, I mean, normally I compile and, well, before you run, the compiler errors are helpful and warn you. Same with linker errors. Built-in IDE. What do we even call this? Error checks can flag potential compiler errors. Errors before compiling. Um, prob probably eight, 1 byte. We'll refuse. Float to int, large int to float, um, double to float, int to character. It's really good. Um, can't go negative because unsigns don't hold negative values. Will modulo wrap and back to the highest value, loop infinitely. And loop infinitely. 3.2 e negative 4. C standard int or IOStream, since when, unless IOStream, fuck, what's the word called? Transitively includes C standard int, which is probably the case. Standard character output, size of double, please. I don't know what I pressed that did that. Okay. Const expression int max well, I don't like that. Max lives 5. Don't like max lives because that's how we name namespaces and type aliases. 10 plus 32 is 42. 42. A equals 10, and 10 plus 2 times 16 equals 42. 35. Compiler can change the code however however it wants. Anyway, without restriction, as long as behavior is unaffected. 36. Passing a standard string variables value as an argument to a function avoids the expensive copying. C style string. 7 remainder 4 or remainder negative 4. So if it's divided by, so there's 3 left over, so it's probably negative 3 is left over, I would imagine. Because 7 remainder 4 would be 3. And it's because 4 fits into 7 one time. But negative 4 fits into 7 negative 1 times. So is it negative 3 left over, therefore there's 3? Or is it negative 3? 7 remainder 4 is 3. Because 4 fits into 7 one time with 3 left over. Negative 4 fits into 7 negative 1 times. How much more can negative 4 fit in? Or how much more is left? Oh yeah, well I guess that's the answer. How much more is left over? So if it's 4, it fits in with 3 left over. It's either 3 or -3. I feel like it's divided because if it's 7 divided by 4, that's +1. We have 3 left over. Oh, mm-hmm. Wait, so if we're talking about, let's say it's 10 and 7. 7 fits in once, and there's 3 left over in there. So, like, if I have a big number and we divide it by something, the remainder is whatever's left. So in this case, it's 7. We divide it by -4, or we take out a negative. Fuck, I don't know. Is it -3? Fuck it. Um, pre-increment returns the incremented value. Post-increment returns the pre-incremented value. Because the post-increment operates after evaluation, whereas the pre-increment operates before evaluation. Yep. Using no conditional operator and the fewest tokens. Oh, return. Or, oh, isn't it just the whole point is if this? Can't I just say if is this true? True or false? I may as well just say if flag, right? If flag is true, this value is to true. If it's false, the value is to false. If it's true, the value is to true. If it's false, yeah, seems like it. Um, Floating point values are stored, are represented as binary fractions, which can't perfectly store them. Thus, there are rounding errors lead to inaccurate comparisons. Too. Um, this is some binary shit. What the fuck? Wait, bro, what are you talking about? Oh, wait, isn't this just inaccurate syntax? It's like A and B, or B and C. I think that's just inaccurate syntax. B. If A isn't true, it's false and quits. Hmm. The whole expression evaluates to false without evaluating B. Unsigned int flags Oh, so we could just say, okay, well, whatever. Flags exist, so we say flags set or equals one left shifted twice. So it's 0, 1, 2. So we're setting the second, not the second from the last, third from the last. So it's not the last, not the second from the last, the third from the last. 0, 1, 2. So we take 1 and we shift them over to make them 10 or 1, 0. Shift them over again to make them 1, 0, 0. Then we compare, and everything that is already true stays true because the only thing in this case that is true is the 1. But everything, the other two zeros are 0. But because we're doing or, anything that's already on in flags stays on. But now, if um, position 2, 0, 1, 2 is off, now it evaluates to um, the same flags, except true if it wasn't already true there. So it evaluates to everything that's 2 to either 0 or 1 for everything that is not true in both, or true in either, and 1 for anything that is true in either. Um, returns the number of bits set to 1. Oh, I don't know. Standard bit set dot on? I'm not sure. Um, not sure what this is. It reads as 101, 101, 2, with the 2 being a subscript. The fuck is the 2? Or is this just saying, does that mean two's complement? I don't remember what that is. Oh, is that this binary is a power of 2, i.e., so we have 1, 1, or well, we have 2 to the power of 0. Yes or no? Yes? Okay, we have a 1. Otherwise, it would have been 0 plus 0 plus 4 plus 8 plus 0. Well, in this case, we could say 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 4 plus 8 plus 0 plus 32 because it's ones, twos, fours, six, eights, six. Oh, am I retarded? Hold on. Eight, six. Oh, wait. Yeah. Ones, twos, fours, eights, 16s, 32s. So it's 1 plus 0 plus, right? 1 plus 0 plus 4 plus 8 plus 0, which would have been 16 plus 32 equals 45. 40 plus 5. Bitwise operations or standard bit set. Um, when we can't include bit set for some reason, maybe, um, we can use bitwise ops on unsigned ints and print this and this to see. Bitmask to evaluate specific bits. 47. Internal linkage means the function variable isn't visible to the, oh my god, here it comes. Don't you do it. What's up, dog? Hi, buddy. Don't you do it. to the linker. You were already out for a while. Oh. 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 Are you kidding me? I'm gonna eat you. Alright. Alright. Dang crippled beast. Alright. Oh. Demon dog isn't visible to linker, and thus is only usable in the current file. External linkage means the function variable is visible to the linker and is usable anywhere in the program, provided the using.cpp file has a forward declaration so the compiler sees that the calls are valid. And the linker will do the rest of the work. In which order? I think global and static local are destroyed at the same time. Regular local destroyed first at the end of its scope would be if in main would be destroyed at the end of main at the end of main's scope. At program termination, global or static duration variables, i.e. global variables, and static local variables, which are created on program start or at program start and destroyed at program completion, should be destroyed at the same time. Non-const global variables are evil because they can be changed anywhere the in the entire program, anywhere they are used in the entire program. Oh, oh. Nothing? Okay. Mm, let's add a repository real quick, actually. I forgot I haven't even done that here. Shit. How do I do it? Create one. Can't I? Am I retarded? I want to do local only. Yes. Cool. No. I don't know why it doesn't have its own. Copy that. There we go. Nice. Oh wait, not push. Just oh, because this is the initial state, so there is no. Okay. Or maybe it just doesn't do it if there aren't comments. Okay. Why else? If it's not const, then it can be a place that errors go, or that errors are likely and hard to track down. Two reasons? I mean, they're better used as a global variable within a namespace if we need it accessible everywhere and also need to change it. I mean, I feel like that's like what else? Besides being error prone, it seems like I mean it could be better done another way. That's basically it. There's a better way of doing it. And if it's going to be global, then obviously the assumption is that we need it everywhere. So if we need them accessible everywhere, program wide, I'll just say accessible, globally accessible, they're better done as non-const within a namespace. But they could still be, but even then, unless they truly need to be globally accessible, probably better as a local variable. Perhaps a static local variable if the value changes must persist. Oh, a global constant from one file so that every other file only sees one definition. Oh, I'm pretty sure we're talking inline const expression here. I mean, we could say do this two ways, but one is preferred because it can be optimized more because it must be known at compile time. One way is a header file with an inline or multi-definition program-wide const expression variable. Another is a const variable in a .cpp file forward declared extern forward declared in a header file. Isn't there a reason to prefer the latter? Um, didn't you just didn't you spoil it? Write the scope resolution form. Oh, the scope wait, bro. Yeah, and this is the scope resolution form. Instead of using math square root and then square root, it seems like it's that. There's no other resolution. I mean, if you're inside the namespace, it's just square root. Other things in the namespace could call it like that. But if we're talking resolving scope to get to it, it should just be math square root. I feel like uh, ChatGPT asks questions I didn't think of, but it asks some stupid ones. Um, switch when we want different code to execute depending on specific values, specific known values instead of ranges. Oh yeah, const expression if. I haven't even done this yet. I think it should be const expression if um evaluates at compile time. Call if executes at runtime. Pretty sure, right? If we say int x is 3, we say const expression if x. Shit, I don't even know how you do a const expression if. Oh shit, well, I don't even remember const expression f. Okay. Oh, we're assigning it 0, so it's always going to print. This will always print. Well, isn't this always print because we aren't comparing x to 0? We're assigning 0 to x using operator assignment instead of operator equivalence. For int I is 10, while I is greater than or equal to 0 minus I. So it's while it's greater than or equal to, and it will go all the way down to 0. Cool. 56. Under what condition will a do while loop execute 0 times? None. The do while loop will execute once unless it's within a condition unless its execution is contingent upon a condition which evaluated to false, is the whole do while loop but this is doubtful. Then evaluate the condition to determine if it should execute again. Continue executing. Fall through occurs when we don't use a break or return statement after a switch statement cases logic. Subsequent code will execute from later cases. Go to create spaghetti code, modeling the execution flow. Break or return instantly exits the innermost loop or returns from the function. So execution is clear. 59. Okay. Merchant twister. Seed a merchant twister. 3 steps. Can't I do it in 2? Create a merchant twister and seed it, and then call a uniform int distribution using the merchant twister. Or we can seed the seed sequence. Seed a seed sequence with random device values and standard chronos steady clock. Seed the Mersenne twist scene. Create and seed a Mersenne twister with the seed sequence to properly seed it. Anybody? Oh, 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 hello the boys. Hello the boys. Oh, hello the boys. Oh, hello. Hey, buddy. Hi. Oh, good boy. Hello. Oh. And create and then return a temporary uniform int distribution called with the Mersenne twisters identifier as a parameter. Or, oh yeah, that should be fine. Oh, nothing? Alright, it's over. Okay. Really? There it is. Code coverage is the percent of code executed, or code in a unit executed in a unit that your test executes in one call to it. In one call. Improve it by getting 100% branch coverage, testing all possible paths for conditionals, to test as many scenarios as possible, and handle and implement all error handling you find. 61. Cool. Standard. Oops. Standard character input dot clear will reset the failure flag. We still need to remove the invalid input and can by calling standard character input dot ignore, giving standard passing it the length of characters we want to remove until the end line character that wraps that concludes the submitted input. Length of characters, if we want to clear the whole buffer, could be standard numeric limits, standard stream size, max. To clear the max value that a stream size, that a standard stream size can hold, i.e. what the input buffer can hold. 62. Assert executes at compile time while static, at runtime. Static assert executes at compile time. 3. Oh, well, static assert seems better as a temporary check tool, while assert actually detects, detects runtime errors you might not have expected. Static assert will find errors made before ever running. 63. A semantic error that compiles, runs, but produces the wrong error, wrong answer. I mean, see how time is? 20 minutes. Fuck, I gotta speed up. A semantic error. I like unsigned ones. Oh, a current number in a loop using the prefix instead of postfix. Probably not common, but in this case we want to evaluate before the incrementation to get the current value and not the future post-increment value. Custom validation instead of relying on the type system? Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? What does this even mean? The type system. Type system? Bro, are you talking about data types? What is type system? What you talking about, Willis? Custom validation? I've never even heard these terms. What do you mean, like, make your own custom error checking thing? I feel like you should just do that anyway. Well, bro, and like promotion versus, do you call it numeric promotion is when a variable is implicit, is when a, well, variable is um, implicitly converted to a wider data type. Matches the standard data type, the implementation's standard data type, like character to int, or short to int, or float to double. Static nest, static cast to int d. Deduces double cause the usual arithmetic conversions say that um, int, integral types convert to floating point types. So I complete a short and a short. Yeah, in this case, we add a double and an int, so the common type is double. Oh shit. Or listen, double or int x 3.0 69 type def. So for using, we're using something for double, but in this case we're doing unsigned long long type def. I think we have to say unsigned long long as I prefer doing using unsigned long or using U64 as unsigned long long or type def unsigned long long U64. Using U64 equals unsigned long long. Type def unsigned long long U64. I don't like that. Okay, I guess it's fine. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, I really don't like that. 70. Um, compiler choose the most efficient. We'll choose an option without performance impacts. Could improve readability by if auto is shorter than the complex type name too. 71. Signature. Return type, identifier, parameters. I don't know what default arguments are. Don't know. Oops. Don't know what default arguments are. Call the same function for similar behavior among different parameter matrices, combinations, like adding floats or adding ints, etc. One is called because 42 is a literal int, and one requires the least amount of conversion. In this case, no conversion at all. 74. No, the interface signature must differ in parameters. Otherwise, there's no way to know which should be called because return type parameters indicate function we want, while return types indicate nothing. Oh, it does paste all though. Wait, what? No, no. First, give me grade my first quiz results and elaborate, please. Oh shit. Okay, I like this. This is pretty good. Seems like it has more. I think ChatGPT is more bandwidth for giving you um, more advanced usage compared to Perplexity, which only gives you three, I think, maybe five, but I think three um, pro calls. And I have to explicitly state that I want more information. Are there any incorrect? Oh shit. Damn. Okay, this is good. Oh, 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 hey Copper. Oh, hey buddy boy. Oh, oh, what are you doing? You're so mean. Oh, oh, are you gonna poke me and give me your paw? Oh, you sweet baby boy. You good boy. You good boy. Hey, good buddy. Hey, buddy. That's a good boy. Oh, thank you. Good boy. You gotta go outside? Okay. Hold on. You need to go out back? Alright, let's go potty. Alright. Statements are often expressions ending in semicolon, but not all statements are expression. Okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I guess it doesn't have to necessarily return something, because return doesn't. I mean, maybe it evaluates the return, but I guess not. Comma statements. Oh yeah, true. Because not all statements are expressions, because a compound statement is a whole thing. It's all one statement. A null statement is a special case. Just, yeah. Default initialized variables are uninitialized, and using them leads to undefined behavior. Okay. Braced is the safest because it prevents narrowing conversions. It's a bit ambiguous. The point isn't that 6 plus 2 is unknown, but since we know what, well, I don't know what he's talking about. He's just chatting shit. Use that unless we want to flush the buffer. Emitter not known this is just fine. Okay. Value. What the fuck is this? I've never even. What the fuck is this? I've never heard of this. L value has an identity address. R value. Bro. Hey! No! No barking, bro. R values are temporary. Okay, yeah. Why the fuck did you ask it now, bro? I don't even remember what 10 was. Oh, well, obviously it's not gonna have the questions. Okay. Bro, 12. What did I say? No clue. What happens if you return from line? I don't know, bro. What? What was it? Home? Dude, it doesn't even know. Okay, it's just making shit up. Alright, it's hallucinating more, I think. It's cool because when it's right, it can give me more explanation, but when it's wrong, it just has no clue. What if a non-void function doesn't return compiler errors if the return is missing or undefined behavior? I'm pretty sure it's compiler error only, bro. Okay, pinpoint bugs by showing variable values before crashes. Excuse me. Expression part might refer to evaluating expressions in the watch window. Oh, I didn't know that. It doesn't even know? I wish it said, yes, this is what I meant. For fixed with, bro, C standard. Well, apparently fucking not. You didn't answer my question. I said IOStream. It looks like it's transitively including C standard ed because when I include IOStream, it lets me do int32t. Hello? Read my message, bro. I'm never doing ChatGPT for this shit again. Doesn't have on? Is it in? I don't know. Which one is it? Set or in? Okay, bro. Motherfucker, you literally said const expression I if const expression x. Well, what if we say int main? Alright, good, no more fucking barking. Good. Int x is 5 if const expression x. Now what? Oh. Hey! So it evaluates literally if the thing is constant expression? Oh, so the point is, it's like a static assert. I feel like those aren't super important. An if const expression is when I'm just testing shit when it's already known at compile time. They should conditionally compile branches based on types. I don't know what you're talking about. Compile branches based on types? Meaning to execute code if the shit is const expression. And, well, it's not even going to work if it's not const expression. So it has to be const expression. It's just a static assert, basically. It's saying, hey, I'm executing at compile time. So if the shit inside of me is not const expression, I'm not evaluating. So I don't know why that's important. Type system? Bro, you don't even know type system? Bro, function overloading, default arguments? A default argument is where by default assigning it a value in there. I don't know why we would do that instead of. So then why would I pass it X if it's already going to be overwritten? I don't know why you would want that. That's weird. Well, the grading part was. Explain your questions that I marked that I was incorrect about and the answers to them. Okay. Then it defines these. Yes. On, there's no on. There's set, there's any, there's none, there's that. What's valid? Returns true if any, if all. Bro, okay. You didn't even say to use the bit set for if a certain one is on. Hello? Set doesn't. Any is all of them. None is all of them if all. And all. Dude, if any is at least one. Okay, bro. That's not what your question said. If constant expression. Compile time conditional. Yes. It removes code that fails if the condition. Yes. Prevents invalid code from being compiled if it's not known at compile time. I don't know why we would want it though. You said likely intended type safety? Yeah. ChatGPT is fucking trash for this. It's terrible. I think that's about it. Yeah, 12 seconds. Okay, we're done. That's the learning for today. I'm gonna let the brain rest till tomorrow. Hasta mañana.